Good evening and welcome to the all-new streaming podcast, Behind Their Music, where we bring you up close and personal with the hottest recording artists in the independent entertainment industry. And for all your up-to-the-minute entertainment news and information, log on to our website at www.theurbaninfluencer.com, your number one platform for independent artists. And now, without further ado, let's jump to it on Behind Their Music with your host, Tony Bass. And this evening, we have the splendid pleasure to talk to a lovely young lady who is really doing big things in the music business right now. And her name is Cecily. And we met on the Urban Influencer. And I just wanted to know what, if anything, were your takeaways. Was it a good experience for you? And would you recommend artists to participate as well?
Oh yeah. That was my second time on the Urban Influencer call. I definitely think it's worthwhile for artists because it's not really any other platforms where you get to connect, kind of one-on-one or in small group settings with, the people that play music. So I think it's definitely a good experience.
You also released The Awakening Part 2, that you're actually on tour with. And what is the concept of The Awakening from Part 1 to Part 2? And is there Part 3 on the way?
As of right now, there's no part 3, but you never know. You never know what can happen. But basically, right around the time I got married, I started reading a bunch of books about love because I wanted to learn more about how to be a loving person and express unconditional love to myself and to those around me. And so some of the books I read were How to Love by Thich Nhat Hanh and The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz, who also wrote The Four Agreements, which a lot of people know that one. But I read those books in 2017, 2018, and I was so moved by them and I just learned so much. I thought, okay, I want to write an album about these books. And then I started reading All About Love by Bell Hooks. And I realized that one album would not be enough because it was just too much to share. And so Awakening Part 1 is inspired mostly by those first 2 books I read. And then Awakening Part 2 pulls almost solely from the book I read, All About Love by Bell Hooks. So that's kind of the transition. The first album is really dealing mostly with self-love and romantic love. And then part 2 is dealing with love in all parts of our life and our society. And what I really love about the Bell Hooks book is that she talks about unconditional love, not as something that is, Valentine's Day, right? It's not about just the flowers and the candy and the grand gestures and all that. She's really saying, what if we took this concept of unconditional love, we put it at the foundation of our society? What would our society look like? How would we treat not just ourselves, but how would we treat our children? How would we treat all of our family members? How would we treat strangers? How would we build our systems and our infrastructure and all these different things? So part 2 is, it was more difficult to write because, to write a love song, we've heard so many love songs and, I love writing love songs, but to also write a song about, how do we love our children, to also write a song about like, how do we take care of the earth, of the planet, that took a little bit more energy, a little bit more thinking, a little bit more work, from my pen. So, but it was a good challenge.
It's been a real joy and a real pleasure to talk to you. And, I hope that you allow us to talk to you again when some new music drops or anything else is earth-shattering that you want us to know.
Yes, of course. I appreciate you for having me. Thank you, Tony.
My pleasure, for sure. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's one of my new friends. This is Cecily. Definitely look her up, check out her music, and you would not be disappointed. So until next time, have a good night.